Rock fans, welcome to Musical People and Journeys, the new rock album review show with your host Nigel, and with Lauren, with Trish, with Pete, and with William, and the absent Simon. Welcome, gang. So, hello. This is our final review of August 2025, episode 16, when we are reviewing Fairyland and the story remains, rated out of 5, see if it gets into our Hall of Fame. Now, Fairyland, power metal storytelling, must start with the aficionado, William.
Hello.
Hello, William. Fairyland, heard of them?
We haven't all, I've not. I now have. And not sure if I'd like to keep on with knowing what they were like. We've listened to a lot of power metal our time here, and a lot of very whimsical power metal, like this. Whimsical, fun, fantastical, fantasy-esque. It's a very diluted genre. As I've said, I feel like every time we've reviewed a power metal album in the past year, and it needs to be something really, really good to stand up alongside those other great bands, and this just doesn't. It's the music is fine. It's fun and whimsical enough. It's very fantastical fantasy vibes, but the vocals just really let it down for me. It's like he's trying too hard to sing the way he is, and I just can't get behind it. It takes me away from the rest of the music so much. It just ruins any effect of transporting me into a fantasy world, which is really unfortunate because I've had a real hankering to have some good power metal again, and this just wasn't enough for me, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, in what way was he trying to sing for you that didn't quite work?
It's like he's not naturally able to sing in that high-pitched kind of way that lots of other fantasy power metal singers do, and it's almost like it's straining him too much to sing that way. At least that's how it sounds to me. It's almost like, oh, this is how power metal sings, so I have to make myself sound as much like this as I can. It just sounds like it's straining it too much.
Okay. Well, we strained to hear him, but we put up with it. Pete.
Well, I'd love to give you my review right here and right now, but I'm afraid the listeners will just be listening to a repeat of everything Will just said, but only in a deeper voice and by a less handsome man.
Get a
room, you two!
Every single word you just said, Will, yes, exactly that. I feel like I've listened to this album 1,000 times already by 1,000 different bands with 1,000 different names. It's just like, yay, we have this fantasy story, and oh no, the king is slain, and evil lurks in the darkness for 1,000 years, and like Will said, the music is fine, but it doesn't stand out in any way. Yeah, what else can I say about it? Geez, Will, I don't even know what to say anymore. You did it. You did the job for me. I'm very whelmed by this album. Just it's there, and I just feel like if you were to go on Spotify and say like, hey, I've got a Dungeons and Dragons session tonight, can you just put on some medieval town music for me on the background? Then this is it. So yeah, what Will said.
Okay, Lauren.
Well, I am a D&D player, so I really liked it. This for me, I don't usually go for like that symphonic power metal, all that sort of thing. I normally am like, yeah, not my sort of thing. However, I really enjoyed this. I thought it was absolutely fab. For me, in contrary to the boys, I really liked the vocals. I think it's because sometimes with power metal, whilst I love hearing people's accents when they sing at times, with some power metal and that you listen to, they almost sound like one of those tubes you get from the seaside that you tip upside down. Where like, oh. And it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, I get it, but it sort of takes me out of it a bit. Whereas because this was a bit more I don't know how you'd put it, mainstream style sung, where it was sort of a bit more consistent. For me, it sort of hit a bit more of a sweet spot and made me sort of sit there and listen to it a bit and not spend half the tracks going, wait a minute, what the hell was that? Like, I'm down at Southsea, I'm on Haylen Island, what's happening? Yeah, I really enjoyed the place it took me. For me, it was fantasy music done right. Even I think maybe the nostalgia factor hit me a bit as well, because at the start of Downfall, the opening track, my brain immediately went, it feels like I've opened RuneScape and I'm waiting for it to load. Yeah, I just really, really enjoyed it. Not quite the best thing I've heard this month, but it was certainly up there for me. And maybe it's because I had like the sandwich of an absolutely incredible album, then the one we've just reviewed, and then now this one. So maybe it's a bit of a whiplashy thing going on. But for me, I really enjoyed it. It was really cool.
Trish, did you think it was cool? Did you enjoy it, or are you down with the boys?
I mean, I listened to this album straight off the back of Black Magnet, and you could not get two more contrasting albums to listen to in succession, from dark to light. For me, this album was very theatrical, musically singing, and you do feel like you were in Fairyland while listening to it. It takes you far away. It's an escapism of an album. I really like the chosen ones, which had me nodding along quite happily. But, you know, as the guys said, you know, this market of music has been flooded. It was solid.
Now, kind of Pete will understand a little bit what I'm saying is because we both read fantasy novels, and I pretty much, you know, that is my stable diet. And I love it when a book takes me to that place and transports me to that place, and I am absorbed into it. And that has to then, and it's all about the characters and how it kind of flows, and the lyricism kind of has to be there. And it's the same when you come to this sort of power metal. Will it transport you to that world? And if you're going to do that, then musically you have to take you on a journey. This didn't. I'm very much on the same kind of lines as Pete and Will from that perspective. I think it just didn't do enough to transport me musically to that world. Lyrically, it was fine. Vocally, it was okay. I just found it a little bit boring. I think, you know, if you read in a kind of novel, you kind of go on and up and down, and it takes you to heights and it brings you back down, which is probably why I love power metal maybe a little bit more than this genre. I just found it a little bit average. I found it musically solid. Vocally, it was okay. I've heard better. It was all right. It was good. I don't think he was straining. I just think it was almost acting in terms of trying to create the atmosphere of what he was trying to do, and it didn't quite work. When you kind of put that up against kind of other bands like Elvenkind and a few others that we've reviewed this year that have just been just that little bit better, I think. So again, nothing to write home about. No hero tracks for me. From that perspective, it was just a solid offering in this kind of genre. But I agree with Lauren. I think if you just flow yourself into it and take you there, I think it could be done. Yeah, you're late to this power metal kind of journey. There are, you know, there's a lot more to come. Anyway,
I'm still a fledgling.
You are still a fledgling. You've only been here with us a year. I mean, you know. Right. Okay. Let's find out. Maybe not, but will it get into our Hall of Fame? William, let's start with you.
I regret to say it is simply a 1.
Oh, harsh. Pete.
Now harsh is the right word. That is the first thing that came into my mind. So I gave him the perfectly whelming score of 2.5.
Laura.
So much power metal.
What did you say?
That's so much power metal that even what would be average normally, Artificial's got that so much lower.
His palate is so refined.
Yeah.
He can only have Michelin-style music. I gave it a 4.5. I really enjoyed it.
Okay. Simon give this a 3.5. He obviously reasonably enjoyed it. Trish.
I gave it a 3.
And I also give it a 3, which gives it an average of 3.3. We dropped Williams' nonsensical, harsh 1. We all know it was a harsh, nonsensical 1.
To his opinion.
We slay the evil wraith that is a 1, and put that to the side. So it got 16.5, 3.3. It's our top 350 albums of all time, and we've reviewed a lot of albums, but only 91st album of the year out of the 115 that we reviewed, because there are a lot. I mean, I keep saying it, but the standard this year has been immense. But do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave your comments, like and subscribe below. Help us get to 1,000 subscribers this month, and that would be amazing. And thank you ever so much to my wonderful panel for listening, for effort, for showing up. Really is appreciated. Thank you to Peter, all the way from Holland, to Lauren, to the wonderful rock chick Trish, and to the amazing William, and of course to Simon, who couldn't be with us today because his baby kept him awake all night. But, hey Simon, the show must go on, but keep on rocking. Goodbye, and keep safe.